today's video, I am going to be breaking down Derik Queen and how he shoots the basketball. He is one of the better centers in this year's NBA draft, so we can all learn from him, especially him being a center, how we can become better shooters ourselves. So let's get down, let's check him out and see what he does, whether it's in the post or out on the perimeter, to be able to shoot the ball at a pretty high percentage. Anyways, if you want to be able to shoot the ball from further away, make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below so that you can extend your range and shoot NBA or further range three-point shots. Okay, so first we are going to start in the post, mainly because he is a center. So let's start in the post. When he makes this turn to make this shot, this is actually a very awkward shot. He has his left leg up in the air, and he is a right-handed shooter. This is actually the same shot that just the other night Nikola Jokic missed, but still ended up getting the game winner with that alley-oop dunk off of that miss. However, why this shot was able to be made is because Derik Queen was able to get his shoulder and elbow in line with the rim, and that ball was somewhat over top of his upper arm. He had zero thumb flick, so it was a straight shot. He was able to get his normal tilt away from the basket with his hips, with his shoulders as well, and that is what allowed him to have a nice straight shot, as we can see right here. Again, this is a very awkward shot. We can see that he's able to turn, and he gets his left leg up. Now, would I suggest for a player to practice this shot? Yes and no. If your coach is willing for you to shoot like this, then you can go for it. But in reality, this is a very tough shot to make. He's obviously practiced it. But if we go back right here, he's able to turn his whole body around. He's got his elbow above his forehead. This is overall still a good shot for him. Will your coach bench you for this? Comment down below. Okay, so now out on the perimeter, what are some things that we notice with his shot that allows him to be somewhat consistent or inconsistent, depending on how you want to look at it? Well, his knee, as well as his foot, hips, shoulder on the left side are all pointing the exact same direction. Meanwhile, on the right side, his knee and foot are pointing different directions, but hip as well as shoulder are pointing in the same direction. He's out of the 8 locations, 6 out of 8 are good. These 2 are bad. In my opinion, if you want to have a more consistent shot, you get your knees and feet as well as your hips and shoulders all pointing in the exact same direction. They do not have to be square to the rim. That's something that is an old school misconception. As long as everything is pointing in the exact same direction, you're generally set. He does shoot flat-footed, which is a concern. That will allow him to have a slower shot, especially when you start getting to that NBA level. In the NBA, he needs to get his heels off the ground just a little bit so that he can engage the Achilles right there, which will allow him to be more springier getting up into the air. When he goes up into his shot, we can see right here that the net is here. His shoulder, elbow are pointing off to this direction. The ball, however, is over top of his upper arm. If we can slow down this footage just a little bit, we can see that he still has a good release. That ball or that arm is still flicking towards the backboard. So this could be just the angle that it was shot at. This could be completely straight towards the rim. Considering that this ball was a pretty well straight shot ball, I'm going to say that it was probably straight to the rim. And this video was just somewhat tweaked when it comes to lenses and just how perspective works. Remember, when you are, I'm going to zoom in because it's a white background. If you're working in perspective, remember, this is a road, there's mountains here, and everything looks smaller in the distance. Remember that, right? For example, if you are building a building when it comes to perspective, and let's say this is the end of the road and you are building a house or a perspective drawing on a house, you have to remember that it would look really weird like this because of how perspective works. But if we go to the other parts of his shot, after he releases, it's a nice soft release. He has his elbow above his forehead. He has his body completely straight up and straight back down. If we go back even a little bit further, he's able to get lift of the ball while at the same time as lifting from his back and then he extends his knees. This is good energy transfer from his back and legs into his shot. This is going to have very consistent power, which will help him from greater distances, for example, that NBA three-point line. The one thing I will mention is that he brings his arm out to the side. He's done this quite a bit in a lot of different clips, but that defender did hit his arm, so there is that. Now, when we go back down into the low post with Derik Queen, there are a few things that I really want to point out as well. When he turns to his right, watch how he's able to get his right leg up into the air. This is something that I generally don't cover a lot because I do a lot of shot breakdowns of guards, but not necessarily centers. And these turnaround jump shots, when you're turning to your dominant side, your right side, your right elbow, shoulder are automatically in line with the rim much faster. However, if you can get that knee up, that's going to allow you to get your right side in line much better, but also create just a little bit of a gap between yourself and the defender there, so that it's even harder for him to block you, especially when there's a massive height advantage on your side. So I hope that these tips can help you become a better shooter. Make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below if you want to be able to shoot the ball from further away. Anyways, I'll see you guys again in my next video. Hit that like button and subscribe.